everybody, tailgaters, we're back. And you know what we've gotten? We have received quite a few comments about one of our episodes. It was talking about the greatest comebacks. Now, there's a bunch of them, but some people will enjoy that episode, and they shared some of their thoughts about their memories of great comebacks. So we thought, let's do another episode. I'm Bruce. I'm with Marcus, and I'm with Daryl, and we have some other ideas. But like, comment, share some of your other ones. Like, what's your favorite? I guess shouldn't say best. I mean, there's a bunch of comebacks, but what's your favorite comeback? One that just at the end of the game just had you jumping up and down and excited and like, this is the reason we watched the game. I mean, comebacks, close games, I think they're more fun than blowouts. Blowouts, you just walk away and like, but those close ones where they're a nail biter and you see that epic comeback, and because I'm going to talk about mine with Captain Comeback with Roger Staubach, which Marcus calls the Wayback Machine. But first, what memories you guys got? You got one?
Daryl, you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
You know, we know last time we talked about Tracy McGrady, which was, that's one of the greatest comebacks of all time. But
yeah, no doubt.
But man, I remember one in particular as one of the most amazing memories of my late son, Adrian. You know, man, we were up late watching the Houston Rockets, Game 6 in the playoffs, and what year? I wonder what year it was. Ah, man, we got to figure out what year that was. Man, they were playing the Clippers, facing elimination in this game, and man, they were down by 21 at one point in the third quarter. And you know, man, but we were gonna take it like champs, you know, and we wasn't gonna be mad and upset and everything. And so, you know, me and Adrian, we started talking about, well, you know, changes. What changes can we make in this off season so we can come back better next season? And so we sitting there, we like general managers do, man. We sitting there planning it all up. Maybe we can trade this person for that person. And,
yeah.
I mean, you know, we are not just having a pretty good time, especially with that LA late start. You know, I mean, it's a bit of midnight on a school night and that kind of thing. And anyway, man, look. They started a comeback out of this world, and James Harden was actually benched because he wasn't doing anything. So that brings out a couple other fellas who came in the game and just started shooting a bunch of threes. And I think Marcus was talking about that earlier. Guys just jack up three after three after three after three, and man, we ended up pulling off that game, which ended up being going into a Game 7 to get back to Houston. Won Game 7, went to the Western Conference Finals only to get beat by the Golden State Warriors. Story of our lives, right? Then we get beat by Golden State Warriors 3 years in a row. You know, but nonetheless, great comeback. Yeah. I mean, absolutely amazing comeback.
You know, it is something, isn't it amazing in basketball, any sport, but basketball, it's like some days you shoot the ball and you can't hit anything, even as a layup. And then all of a sudden there's another day you could just shoot from anywhere, anytime, and it just goes in like magic. It's just weird. It can change in the half, too. It doesn't be the whole game. It's all of a sudden like, I can't miss. Yeah, and all of a sudden it's like, I can't hit anything.
Yeah.
Well, what do you got, Marcus?
You know, you took my term, go back in the Wayback Machine, you know, Mr. Peabody and Sherman. I'm dating myself there. That's okay. Yeah. I just look like I'm 20. But, you know, for me, I got to take it all the way back to the 2013 NBA Finals. It's Game 6, and I'm talking about Ray Allen's legendary Game 6 shot, right? I mean, it was incredible.
Yeah.
Either going up against the Spurs. I don't know if that's a tough one for you or either one of you two, but man, that was one legendary shot back in 2013. So just to kind of, you know, set the stage here, the Miami Heat, it was versus Miami Heat and the San Antonio Spurs. It's Game 6. The Spurs led the series 3-2. I think there was like 28 seconds left, and they're like up 94 to 89. The Spurs are like one stop away from winning the championship. And let's break it down. LeBron has the ball. He misses. A little bit of chaos ensues in the building. LeBron He attempts a game-tying three-pointer from the left wing with 7.9 seconds left. He misses. My boy Chris Bosh, he grabs the ball for an offensive rebound over two other Spurs defenders. Okay, now let's talk about Ray Allen's moment, right? With 5.2 seconds left, Allen backpedals perfectly behind the three-point line, catches Bosch's pass, and launches a high arcing three-pointer shot over our favorite Tony Parker. Sorry, Tony Parker. Guess what? Nothing but net. The ball swishes right through the net with about 5 seconds to go. It tied the game at 95 a pop, sending the Miami crowd into a frenzy. That resulted into a forced overtime, and it was a complete championship shift, really, right? So the Heat survived an OT to win the game outright, 103-100. They take Game 7 and secure their back-to-back championship, thanks largely in part to Ray Allen's clutch shot, one of the greatest, and I do mean greatest, in NBA history.
That was a heartbreaker. I could not believe that. I thought the Spurs had that game wrapped up.
Oh yeah, it's you just never know. And Ray Allen's one of those, just talents. Like I don't put him like up there with Kobe Bryant, but he's in that era. Like he's in that stance. Like he's almost there, but he's definitely cut from the same cloth. He's just a genuine winner, and when that guy gets in the zone, he just gets in the zone. Just definitely one of the purest shooters of all time. And what he did back in 2013 in the NBA Finals, specifically Game 6. Just clutch. That's just to personify the word clutch.
No, that was Shuttlesworth. Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Yeah, that's who he is. Love it.
Well, mine is going to go in the Wayback Machine too, but back when they were in Texas Stadium, and my brother and I used to go to the Cowboy games there. We would wander over to the stadium. We wouldn't have tickets. We'd kind of walk up there, and then back then the scalpers would sell their tickets pretty cheap right when the game started. So we would get tickets and go on in, usually the end zones, but they were really good. You're nice and high up on the end zone seats and get to see the plays develop. So we enjoyed it. And they were fairly inexpensive, not like today. But anyway, we happened to see the Cowboys versus the Washington. Back then, of course, they were called the Redskins. This was in 1979, end of the season. Turns out it was Roger Staubach's last regular season game. Of course, didn't know it at the time. But those two were tied. Whoever wins this game wins the Eastern Conference, gets a bye, and, going to be the best team in the playoffs. And it was fabulous. So we got there and we're in our seats and watching this game. And Washington took a 17-0 lead, bam, right off in the first quarter. And it didn't look good for our Cowboys. But, we had Roger Staubach. He was called the comeback kid. I have to do an episode sometimes why I think he should be up there with one of the greatest. I mean, really, he was only a starter for like 8 years and took the Cowboys to 4 Super Bowls in 8 years. I mean, that's pretty phenomenal. But nevertheless, the Cowboys looked bad. The crowd got quiet, how it goes, where it's kind of looking like a blowout. Well, anyway, the Cowboys kind of worked their way back, and they took a lead. They were 21-17 later and looked pretty good. But the Washington team made a good comeback. Fourth quarter, they scored, and they scored again. And, they were now ahead 34-21. It looked pretty good that they were going to win it. Cowboy fans leaving the stadium. Back then, a lot of times fans were at the Cowboy Stadium because they were there. Some people, like me and my brother, were there to watch Cowboys. Some people were there just to be seen that they were there. So those people were just leaving. And I swear that stadium was just half full.
Right.
And we were like, we're not going to win. But, we know that Staubach's throwing that ball. So he did. He threw that ball, got him back within 6. But wasn't much time left. Probably 2 more minutes left. But they held him. And I think it was Larry Cole, he tackled John Riggins. You probably maybe heard of that guy. John Riggins, he's the one that ran for a big touchdown against the Cowboys and brought him ahead. But anyway, he got tackled behind the line of scrimmage, forcing the Washington to punt. Cowboys had the ball, and it wasn't much longer. Staubach, bam, drove him down the court. And I'll never forget this play because we're up here in the end zone. We see Staubach and the team's facing us. Goes in there. Tony Hill. Do you remember Tony Hill? They called him the Thrill Hill. Tony Thrill Hill. So anyway, back of the end zone, post pattern, hits him. Staubach hits him for the go-ahead touchdown. Of course, he raises his hand like that, like they do, into the end zone. I mean, I have never heard that stadium that loud. So I figured, actually, the people who are remaining, they're the ones that always are cheering. They were the real fans. I mean, that whole stadium was just rocking and reeling. It was incredible. Incredible. We were just jumping and screaming and hollering, and everybody left. You know how it is there again on that close games. We were so happy walking to the parking lot. You had to go over this bridge and walking in this parking lot seemed like forever away. All the fans were just hooting and hollering. It's like those moments where you all feel like we're together. Don't know who these people are, but we're high-fiving and celebrating, and it was just glorious. Like I said, only to find out later that was his last home game, or last regular season game to play. But boy, never forget that game. And thankfully, my brother and I got to share that. That was quite a good experience. Anyway,
I'm with you. Now, I'm with you. Like, I feel like Montana is starting to get brought back into those conversations around the greatest quarterback of all time. But Staubach is definitely an honorable mention. To your point, 4 Super Bowls in 8 years. I mean, take away recently Mahomes and you take away Brady. Who else has that kind of record? You know what I mean? He's definitely, he's definitely in my mind top five. Yeah, I just think, and it's not because I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. It's because the guy was just a damn winner.
He was really, that's what it was. He was a winner. He's out back there fighting for, and then also, you figure, he gave up some of his career to serve in the military. He's in Vietnam. So I almost feel like, anyone that was serving in a war, I don't know how close he got to war, but over in a war situation, what's going to phase you, Oh, it's a football game. I fought in a
war. Sherman tank over there. I got a game on Sunday.
That's our memories, and you guys have memories, I'm sure, with your favorite team, particularly when you're rooting for them. And I don't know what it is about sports, but they bring you together. So, let us know your thoughts. And anyway, we'll see y'all next time. Thanks.
All right.